Welcome to my thoughts while standing in the queue. The other day, I passed a long line of people in London standing in line to vote on a referendum, and I realized how happy I was and how lucky I was because I didn't have to vote in the American election. Thank God. The election of Donald Trump was nothing but an agonized cry to go back to the halcyon days of the 30s and 40s, where men were men and women were baby machines. Those were the days when the ladies' room was in the kitchen, and the lady of the house spent most of her time there slaving over a hot stove, making all of her meals from scratch, with no fancy appliances to help with the cutting, the slicing, and the mixing. No ready-made dinners to buy at the supermarket. We did it all from the beginning. We certainly didn't have a dishwasher. In my home, I was the dishwasher. We didn't have a fancy appliance. Our housework was also a full-time job because there was no high-powered vacuum cleaners and dusters. We had to use a rag, a mop, and a broom, and that was it. Took all day. Every woman who knew what side her bread was buttered on would stop all work at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, go upstairs and take a hot bath and change into something romantic and very lovely to greet her beautiful husband when he came home at 6 o'clock from the office. She will have fed the children early so that they didn't disturb her knight in shining armor, and when he came in the door, she would loosen his tie, take off his jacket, give him a cuddle and a kiss, and sit him down with a whiskey and soda while she ran into the kitchen to put the finishing touches on an elaborate dinner that she had created just for him. She sprayed a lot of perfume on her to hide the faint aroma of sweat that was inevitable as she slaved over steaming pots and pans and arranged the food attractively on the platter to present to her darling after the candles were lit and the stereo was on for relaxing music. In those days, sex was a man's realm, and if he wasn't happy, it was always the woman's fault. Contraceptives were off limits, and so were abortions. No matter how cute that cute delivery boy was, he was not anything you could consider. Indeed, all those halcyon days that we loved so much are coming back thanks to the Donald. Men can be men now. All of them marvelous in sports, beautifully coordinated, always winning. We will not discuss the frightened and discouraged, depressed little wimps that preferred a book to a baseball bat. We will not discuss the suicides, and we will not discuss the unhappiness. They were non-people. The only thing that mattered were the men in our lives who took care of us, clothed their women in minks and diamonds. Right, they did that, and they only worry that they had was to be sure that they had enough hair on their chest so when they opened up their shirt, a little of it showed, because that showed everyone that they were real men. Thanks to the wonderful Donald, those days are back. Isn't that good news?